Good morning, students. Today we are going to study a new chapter. It is your third chapter of English literature book. The name of the chapter is Taro's Reward. In this chapter, we will read about a boy whose name is Taro. So, Taro's Reward is a popular fairy tale in Japan. It involves the story of a son, Taro, who wanted to fulfill the wishes of his father. And what happens next? But he was unable to fulfill his father's wishes. He works too hard. Wait for a second. He works too hard to fulfill the wishes of his father, but though he was a poor boy, he earned money by chopping woods from the jungle. Now, let us start the chapter. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. All day long, he chopped wood in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. This made him sad, for he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. Now I am going to explain you this para. Wait for a second. So there was a young woodcutter whose name was Taro. He lived with his old parents on a lonely hillside. He earned only a small amount of money from his work. This made him sad because he wanted to make life better for his parents. He earned money by chopping woods. One day it was everything they need, and he wanted to fulfill all the wishes of his parents. Now let's see what happens in the next page. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, "I wish I had a cup of shake. It would warm me and do my old hut good." So, one evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut, a cool wind was blowing, and it entered the house through the cracks of the hut, and everyone was feeling very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, "I wish." Taro's father wished a cup of shake, thinking that it would warm him and do his old hut good. It means that his father wants a shake which was beneficial for him. So now this made Taro sadder than ever, for the heartwarming drink called shake was very expensive. Do I earn more money? He asked himself. How do I get a little shake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. So in third paragraph, when his father wished a cup of shake, and he presented his wish in front of his son, then Taro felt sadder than ever. Taro was sad, and because the shake was very expensive, which his father was demanding for. Now he started thinking that how will he earn more money, and how do he get a little shake for his old father. Then he decided to work harder than before. Now let's see what happens next. Next morning, Taro jumped out of bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. My poor old father, he thought, if only he was as warm as. And with that, he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake warm the old man's bones. Now, what happens next? Next morning, Taro went to the Taro left his bed earlier and, as usual, he went to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun was climbing. He was chopping the wood as much as he can, and doing during chopping the wood, his body became so warm that he had to take his jacket off, and his mouth was too dry, and his face was wet with sweat. He was thinking that if his father would feel warm as much as he is feeling, and with that he began to chop even faster, and thinking of that he began to chop faster, that if he would chop more wood, he would earn he will earn extra money. So in order to buy the sake to warm his father, or to fulfill his father wish, he went on chopping the wood. Now then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. What was that sound he heard? Could it possibly be rushing water? Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest. He was thirsty. The axe dropped out of his hands and he ran in the direction of the sound. While chopping, he heard a sound. He thought that what it was and what it could be possibly, and he thought that possibly it would be a rushing water. Taro could not remember, and Taro didn't haven't seen a river or a rushing stream in that part of the forest. He was thirsty. Because he was thirsty, he dropped the axe from his hand and ran in the direction of the sound. Now let's see what happens. Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at a place where water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands and put it to his lips. Was it water or was it sake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. So Taro rushed in the direction of the sound, and he found that there was sorry and he found Taro saw a small beautiful waterfall. He knelt to drink the liquid, but to his surprise it was not water but sake. Taro had a pitcher with him. Sorry, wait for a second. So he tasted that water again and again, and then but to his surprise, he found that it was not a water, it was a delicious sake, which his father was longing for. His father was demanding for. Now, Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. The old man was delighted with the sake. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. So Taro had a pitcher with him. So he filled a pitcher. You can say a pot usually made of mud. So he filled that pitcher with that sake and went to his home and offered that sake to his father. After drinking one swallow of the sake, or you can say liquid, his father stopped shivering and started dancing in the middle of the floor. Now, that afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall, thanking them for the delicious drink. She left in a hurry. By nightfall, she has spread the story throughout the whole village. So, on the same day, one neighbor visited to Taro's house, and Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Then Taro told him the whole story about the magic waterfall from where he found the sake. After thanking, the lady went away, and by by nightfall, the story of magic waterfall was spread out in the whole village by the lady. So that evening there was a long procession visitor to the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the sake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. So, when the lady spread the story of magic waterfall in the whole village, every man of village started visiting the house of Taros, and each man and Taro told them the story about the magic waterfall and offered them a sip of sake. In less than 1 hour, the whole sake was the pitcher was empty, or you can say the sake was over. Next morning, Taro started work work ever earlier than the morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise his neighbor there were carrying pitchers, jars, bucket, anything they could find to hold the magic sake. So next morning, Taro decided to take the biggest pitcher he had in his home, and he decided to first visit the magic waterfall. As he reached the magic waterfall, he saw that all the villagers were near the waterfall with their jars, pitchers, and buckets, whatever they had, anything they could find to hold the magic sake. So then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. He drank again and again, and then shouted angrily, "Water, nothing but water!" Other also tried, but there was no sake, only cold water. But but unfortunately, when one of the villager knelt to drink the sake, he found that it was water. He drank again and again, but to his you can say, but unfortunately he found that it was water. There was only cold water, there was no sake. Now we have been tricked, shouted the villager. Where is Taro? Let us drown him in this waterfall. But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock. When he saw how things were going, he was nowhere to be found. When the villager found that it was water, they started shouting angrily, and they were shouting, "Where is Taro? He has tricked us." But Taro was enough wise, so he slipped behind a rock. So he hid behind a rock. After seeing the things which had gone worse, and the villagers were not able to find him anywhere. So now, muttering their anger and disappointment, the villager left the place one by one. Taro came out from his hiding place. Was it true? He wondered. Was the sake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same fine sake. To them, thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious sake. To everyone else, it gave only cold water. So villager went away, muttering their anger and disappointed. Muttering means speaking unclearly. So they went away, muttering their anger and disappointment. So Taro came out from his hiding place, and he started thinking, was it true? And he wondered, was the sake a dream? He was thinking that, was it true or was it a dream? Once more, he took a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips, in his mouth, and he found that it was the same fine shake. To them, thought to they to the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious shake. So for Taro, it was the magic waterfall was giving delicious shake, but for villagers it was only a cold water. It gave only a cold water. Now the story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. This, said the emperor, was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. So what happened? The story of the whole story. The whole story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the emperor of Japan ears, and he sent he rewarded Taro he rewarded Taro with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. Then after he named that most beautiful waterfall after Taro's name. And the emperor said he rewarded Taro because he wanted to encourage all children who honor and obey their parents. So this was the story explanation of the story. Now I hope there is no confusion. So I am giving you a short summary of this story. Look, this story is about a boy whose name was Taro, and Taro was a young woodcutter and he lived with his old parents. He wanted to fulfill all the wishes of his father and of his parents. So one day his father demanded a shake because he was feeling cold. So Taro became sad because because the shake was very expensive and he had not enough money to buy that shake. So he decided to work hard than ever. And one day, while he was cutting up trees in a forest, he heard the sound of a waterfall, and he went towards it. After drinking the water, after drinking the liquid, he found that it was a shake for shake which his father was demanding. So he filled a pitcher with him and took it home. And one day a visitor came to visit him, and Taro told him about the shake. Soon the story of magic waterfall was spread throughout the village. When the next morning, when Taro came near the waterfall, he found that all villagers were carrying their pitcher, container, whatever they had to hold the shake. But unfortunately for the villagers, it was only a cold water. And so, but when Taro again went there and took and caught a handful caught a handful liquid, he found that it was again a shake. So it was the same shake. And after, when this story reached to the emperor's ears, he rewarded Taro because he was a kind young man, and by saying that he wanted to encourage all children who obey and honor their parents. Thank you and have a good day. If you have any doubt, you can comment us on Google Classroom.